this is the best April action figure ever. That's right, I said ever. Splinter and April have arrived. These are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures from JoyToy, and these have been absolutely amazing. And real quick, the only cool thing about these boxes besides the display is over here on the left side. You can see an image of the action figure, or maybe it's a digital render. And if you're an inbox collector, then you can just look at these or look at the front or whatever. But I care about looking at the figures, so I'm going to get these things out of the box right now. It is absolutely crazy how many accessories there are between these two figures. You might have noticed that April is standing, but Splinter is not. That's because I wanted to show you how he came packaged. And so I'm going to lift him up. And the funny thing is that he's got a rather stiff tail, and it looks like it just might be a bendy tail. And I didn't want to mess that up because he's like in the box laying flat like this. But I have a feeling, it kind of moves around. It's kind of articulated a little bit, like up here. I'm guessing there's a ball joint. Or, well, it rotates at least. Oh, yeah. Look at that. There are these little dots, and that dots usually means that you can, it's got some bend to it. So then you can have him stand after you articulate the tail. But I just thought that was kind of funny, the way he was laying there with this tail taking up a big portion of the package, that I wanted to show that real quick. Let's see if we can get him to stand now, because he's a little bit different balanced. And yeah, look, there is so much stuff here. So, okay, they both come with, let's just get some of this stuff out of the way. They both come with these figure stands right here, if I can pick them up. And these will combine to create a little scene. But you got to have 4 of them, so we're going to set those off to the side. I've knocked everybody over. Let's get them standing back up. There we go. Please stay standing. They both come with this figure stand that is really difficult for me to pick up, but they both come with this kind of a figure stand. It's kind of a disc, and it's just a very shiny, nice looking stand. It doesn't have to join up. It can just be for the figure if you don't want to create like a little set pose, so to speak. And then that's it. That's not it. That's their combined accessories right there. Everything else is unique to them. So let's look at the Mousers. We're going to look at some of April's stuff first. So the Mousers are kind of cool and a little bit unexpected, I would say, because why are they coming with April? Maybe this is foreshadowing a Baxter Stockman. Now the question would be, would we get the Fly Baxter Stockman, or are we going to get the human Baxter Stockman? Or, here's a really awesome idea. Maybe a double set, like a deluxe set where you have the human version, a little bit shorter of a guy, and then you get the Fly, and you get both versions of him. Or, even better, I've gone in total, guessing at this point. Even better, you have the human version with a few swappable parts that turn him into the Fly. Then you can have either version. Okay, off that topic. But you get some Mousers, because Baxter Stockman is who created the Mousers. I have not paid attention to all iterations of Ninja Turtles, but the original the original 90s, late 80s, early 90s, he created these Mousers. The mouths do open. I opened up one because they're actually a little bit difficult to open. They have a kind of a jaw area. If you see right there, it has this black hinge right there, and this is what it looks like fully open, so that's as far as they can open. There's a ball joint up here, so you can move that head around. Look on all over the place. There's a kind of a double joint here in the leg to where the foot can bend back and forth, and then the upper area. So you can kind of do a couple interesting poses. Now, I don't know if you can actually get them to stand properly leaning over this far or not. I kind of tend to think they might be a little front heavy. You'll have to work out that balance on your own. And just to show you the articulation, boom, see, it's shut. And to get it open will be, well, actually, maybe it's because I did it once. There we go. Yum! I want some turtles. Actually, they don't talk, so. But anyway, the Mousers. Then we get to some small items. And here's an item right here. I'm going to get this a little bit closer so you can see some detail. This is her video camera, her news video camera. It's kind of an older style. I don't know that we have very many cameras that really look like this. Maybe if you're in the professional news area, but let's turn that around. You can see the other side. It's kind of plain on this side. The detail really is on this side. You can see buttons and things up in there. That's pretty neat. Let's grab this item. All this stuff is so small. We have her handheld, there we go, her photo camera. Not her video camera, but her photo camera. The side's pretty plain. There's really not much to see there. But this fact that we're getting, these are really cool things. Even if you don't collect turtles, action figures, you could get this and have a bunch of neat little pieces. She also, I'm just throwing stuff around. She also comes with a Channel 6 News microphone right there. So if you don't want to see Channel 6, you could rotate it around, and it could be generic microphone if you would like. Then she's got, boom, a secondary head, and I can't quite tell. This looks more like a surprised, like concerned maybe, like I didn't expect this to happen kind of look to her. And she's got a very classic 80s, 90s head, or hairdo. Oh, I almost forgot this. It kind of blended in. She's got a turtle comm. And that looks very much like the animated series. We'll turn this thing around. You can see that there's a shell detail. Now, I know this is like really small, but wouldn't have been really cool to have a small pin so you could actually open and close it. I have seen things that small that had some sort of articulation. She comes with a variety of hands, and I don't think any of them are actually the same. So we'll start with the left hand. She has a pretty basic C-gripped left hand, and she's got kind of like a peace symbol hand, or I don't know, just got the two fingers up, an opened hand. Then we're going to move over to the right hands. There's a C-grip hand for her right hand, with actually the first finger seems to be sticking out. I don't know if that's exactly how it's supposed to be, because this hand also of mine has like yellow junk on it. And I don't know if that's supposed to actually be that way. She also has an opened palm version. And that's all of her accessories. She's actually got, oh, no, I missed another set of hands. Boxing gloves. These are actually hands. If you look in there, there's a hole in there. And so you take off her existing hands and plug these on. These don't fit over the existing hands. So you have a left and a right one. I don't even know if I just said left and right. So let's scoot all this stuff. Let's scoot her stuff off to the side. Oh, she's got kind of a secret accessory. She has this bag that is already on her. We'll take a look at her in just a moment, because we're going to jump over and look at Splinter's stuff. And here he's got, it looks to be some sort of like a training tool for swords. In fact, he's been using it recently, and there's a cut in there which looks like this top might just slide off just the way it is. This is actually kind of a bendy, so probably want to be careful with this. This portion's not so bendy. It's this portion down here that's bendy. So even the base is, it's medium bendy, I guess. I don't know. And so let's just get to these real quick. These are really cool. We get 4 baby turtles. One has the left hand up high. There's the front and the back. And just toss her. Another baby turtle looks like in some sort of a training pose. Left arm sticking straight out and the right hand sticking straight out. You get the idea. You can see it here. Another training baby turtle. None of these have articulation as far as I can tell. And then there's another baby turtle that is crawling around on all fours. Like a fresh, new baby turtle. And then finally we got another baby turtle that I don't know if this is like really small or if it's just pulled into its shell, because the feet are just barely peeking out and the head is just barely peeking out. So I'm not sure if this is like really small or if it's just retreated into the shell. And that's fun. That's really cool. So that tells me this Splinter is a younger Splinter if he comes with these. You also get this really neat looking straw style hat. If you look, you can see all this like detail for straw, and there's even straw sticking up. It's like a straw or grass. And these holes go around his ears. I'll show you that in just a few when I put that on. Then you get all these weapons. Well, before the weapons, but this is kind of a weapon. You can get a staff. There's a walking stick, and not a staff, but just walking stick. And it's kind of bendy. There is a sword with wooden looking like handle. So many accessories here, it's nuts. And you get one of these, and I don't know exactly what this is. I just call this some sort of like a double dagger. It's got 2 blades here on the end, and it's actually a tiny bit sharp. You got a hole, you could attach like a string or a piece of yarn or something to that, or if you've got some chain, you could do that probably and create like a more lethal weapon. Can I say that? Can I say lethal? Get 2 of these little dagger things. Again, it's got the hole here at the bottom, so you could attach something to this, or did I say 2 of them? You get 2 of these things. So you could attach either these together, or you could attach those together if you want to. And you get 2 of these, which don't have a hole at the bottom. They just have a little hook. Right there. You can see, visually see 2 of them right there. And he gets 4 hands, 2 sets, pretty much the same. It looks like he has a fist, left and right. They are the exact same, left and right. He's got kind of an open, grabby kind of hand. It's not completely open, but you can grab something, I think. And then you get the other one, which is the same way. And those are all of his accessories, except for, why don't we really quick bring him a little bit closer. And his hat just fits on, I believe, like that. And we can look at Splinter. Why don't we go ahead and just look at Splinter while we got him here. So, I mean, this guy is really cool looking. This is a different kind of a style than I am used to seeing from Splinter. And I think it's pretty neat. Here, let's take this hat off. So one thing is you can pop the head off, and you can remove this like cowl, this little mini cape, which is also a straw style thing. Put the put the head back on, and then you've got a Splinter that is more, he's not out traveling, he's not out doing stuff. He is like, he's home. Actually, you could even go further. The brown covering here is loose and very, as you can see, very rubbery. You could probably, I haven't tried this yet, you could probably rotate his arms back and actually take this off if he really worked on it. Let's see. We'll just do this now, shall we? And probably won't put it back on during the video. There we go. It was catching there. But you could take this off, and then you've got a Splinter that is just in kind of like his robe. It makes you think a lot more of the 80s, 90s Splinter. That's actually really cool. He doesn't look as burdened with clothing now, and probably getting all sorts of cool Ninja Turtle-y poses there. And then you've got this. And if you're having a hard time standing him up, which you shouldn't, you could actually kind of bend the tail down, and it could be kind of a prop, so to speak, right there. So articulation, you saw that this is a ball joint up here. His arms do rotate, but these ones on this figure, for me, are a little sticky. His arms go up that high. So when I try to rotate them, I don't know, it kind of feels funny. It doesn't feel free-flowing, free-moving. I might have to put some heat on them. The arms rotate and hinge. I think do a pretty good job. Same with the wrists. They rotate. There is no hinge on any of these hands, well, or the wrists. If you want him to lean forward, he's got a rotation at the waist as well as a torso cut up here. And he can lean, let's just say lean forward pretty good, and he can lean back pretty good as well. If you want him to sit in a more of a standard pose, I mean, he's got this tail, that's not going to work, but he can do that. His legs kind of have a natural kind of bow to them right there that you're not going to get them completely straight. He is a rat after all. I mean, it's probably, they're trying to get him into a ratish standing pose. He can bring his legs all the way back. These are pinless joints, so you've got a lot of range of motion in the knees with that double pinless. There is no rotation at the boot, or I guess in the wraps at this point. There is a pivot and a hinge. How far back can he go? Looks like he can go like maybe all the way back. If that tail was there, I mean, he can go back like really crazy far. That's kind of cool. And leaning forward, yeah, that's less cool. It's not quite as far, but you can go about that far forward. There are toe. I was going to look. There are toe articulation, toe pins right there. It's funny, it's a pinless figure, except they have to show the pin right there for the toes. So here is Splinter, and I did all this articulating while he didn't have this on, but I can't imagine this is going to hinder much because it's a very shredded looking kind of jacket, so that shouldn't hinder much. The other thing back here is mostly around his shoulders and is pretty flexible, so this should not hinder any arm movement either. I like Splinter. I think he is pretty cool. Let's jump over and look at April. I'm about to make a really bold statement. This is the best April action figure ever. That's right, I said ever. Sure, she's only like 4 inches tall. We're going to bring her a little bit closer. I want you to really look at this figure. This figure is really good looking. This is a nice looking 4-inch figure. She's just got detail everywhere. This is about to become one of my probably top 5 4-inch action figures. She is just, I saw her online. I had to buy her immediately. Just really, really awesome. All right, so what about all this articulation that 4-inch figures don't have? Check out this butterfly. She has a butterfly joint that's actually really pretty good for a 4-inch figure. Just kind of back and forth there. Got a bicep rotation right there. I'm going to back her up here just a little bit. So let's see. So she's got a single, and I will give this a single elbow hinge and rotation, but even 6-inch figures, at least for quite a while, the females, for some reason, even though guys would have double, they would still give the girls a single, probably because of the slender arms. I don't know. But along with that, I mean, let's talk Legends here for a minute. You know, all this really awesome articulation and detail with Marvel Legends. For how long? And they might still be doing it. I stopped buying Legends a few years ago. They might still be doing this. But they joined the waist and is it the lower torso or is it the entire torso and the waist? They had one piece all through here. She has a waist rotation, she has a torso rotation, and she's a 4-inch figure. And I just screwed this up. Where'd that bag come from? I look how far she can bend forward. She has got some moves, this girl. Look how far she can bend back. Sure, it might not be real pretty in the cut, but look at that. She can go way far back. If you want her to do the splits, okay, she doesn't have great splits. If you want her to do the sits, yep, splits and sits. Lean her forward a little bit. She can sit just like that. She has double pinless knees. Really pretty good back there. She has the torso, not the torso, but the thigh rotation right there. The ball joints are up in the legs. There is no boot cut right through here, but you can lean her back really far. I mean, check that out. Yeah, that's as far as she goes. You can also lean her forward. This little bag really wants to fall off now. Can lean her forward, maybe not as far as some figures, but I don't think she's too bad. And then, so what I essentially is saying, she got the pivot and the hinge in these ankles. And get back up there, bag. This thigh bag is just driving me nuts now. Ball joint on the head. You can get her in some really cool poses, and I absolutely cannot pose on camera. I've tried multiple times, and it just hasn't worked out. Anyway, the reason I pointed out specifically the butterfly is that's something that has been lacking in this JoyToy Ninja Turtle line. And not that I was expecting this line to have them, I actually wasn't until I saw her. But if any of you have been following the channel for a while, you probably noticed I did a video on the actual 4 turtles back when they came out, and I completely missed the bad guys. Not that I don't have them. Whoa, I got them. There's a Bebop kind of back here. Well, yeah, whatever. Here's a Shredder, and here's a Foot Soldier. I actually have all of them, and I've got a friend helping me get them all now, because I guess it's Viacom who's decided that they're going to really do what they can to stick with the regional aspect of release. So only in certain countries are these figures officially available, so I have had to resort to having a friend help me get them, because that should be okay. A friend who lives in that country gets them, sends them to me. I don't see that that's a problem. But anyway, back to the butterfly joints. she's kind of like creepy there. Kind of bent over creeping a little bit. I'll be talking about her a little bit more than I did Splinter, by the way. Now I can't get her. There we go. The foot soldier, he does... Let's get this piece off. He's got some butterfly joints up here as well. So Foot Soldier and April are like the only figures. It's like completely different. The girls have some of the better articulation than the boy figures, which is kind of weird and kind of crazy. Let's put this in her hand. I don't know which hands are required, but she can be an investigative reporter. This way. Let's get her hand out here. Action video mode. She's an amazing looking figure. I'm going to say that. I don't know that I like this other head that much. She looks really kind of... Maybe she's about to get caught. Maybe she's sneaking around. And that's what it is. She's sneaking around and the foot soldiers stand. Come on, you. Stand. Stand. Come on. There we go. The foot soldiers have just caught her. And that's where you might use that pose. Like, oh no! Maybe. Or let's give her back the original head. And over in the left hand, we'll give her the microphone. Reporting on location. As I'm running. With this camera, you could actually, let's see. Let's bring in this guy right here. So we'll get Raphael to hold this camera. So here we go. I know, he's doing his ninja camera stuff. So he's standing there, kind of paying attention, kind of not. And she'll be here reporting. So see, like you could use the camera with another character, and then she could be reporting. That's a really great use of the microphone. Unless, I don't know, unless she's doing a selfie. I'm looking at these hands over here. Isn't one of these kind of like a selfie almost? Like, let's turn the camera around. And she could pretend to be like reporting like, smile, I'm on Instagram or wherever. And then she's got this other hand over here where it's got, let's go get you going, Raph. Pretty sure that this is a left hand. Whoa, wait. What? There is a hinge. Look at that. There is a hinge. I have to check out Splinter to see if he has one. Does she have a hinge where the others don't? No. No. The turtles have a hinge. I don't know. So, she can do peace out, or she can do a peace sign, or whatever, or some little pose for the camera. There is just so many different hands. There's enough accessories that she could just you could have a lot of fun posing her out. She is just an amazing figure. I really, really like this figure. Gotta look at Splinter here again real quick. Because, yep, he does. I said he didn't have a hinge. But he does have a small bit of a hinge. That's cool. She's amazing. She's awesome. I love this figure. And I'm pretty sure you will too. Let's do some height comparisons real quick. All right, we'll begin with the actual turtles. You can see how tall they stand. Splinter is a little bit shorter than the turtles, while she is just a little bit taller than the turtles. That's the way it should be. We'll bring in the Shredder here, and he is towering over Splinter. And he's actually taller than April, it looks like. And let's just say that's the way it should be. Get rid of the Ninja Turtle here, and we'll bring in a Foot Soldier. And the Foot Soldier is even taller than her. Definitely taller. Splinter's always the shortest, so that's about correct. And then we'll bring in Bebop. I have Rocksteady as well, but if I remember correctly, Bebop and Rocksteady are about the same height, so I didn't think we needed to see both of them here. But Bebop is definitely towering over Splinter. We'll just even bring Shredder back in. You can see that Bebop is even much taller than the Shredder there. So those are some height comparisons in this Ninja Turtle line. Let's look at some other figures. Next, we'll look at the only JoyToy figure I can currently find. This is an older style female, if I understand things correctly. She kind of height-wise matches up there. We got a Boris Ping figure that I'll stand right there. And she also kind of stands up, but these are really cool. I really like these Boris Ping figures. I can't wait to get Wave 2. But April is definitely beating out this figure just for the detail and the articulation alone. Then I've got, let's put a Fortnite male figure and a Fortnite female figure there. You can kind of see there's definitely a styling difference. That's for sure. The cartoony versus a little bit more of a serious look. We'll pull these away. I can't help but kind of chuckle as I see those. And I knocked him over. He was all ready to go. We've got a modern era Sergeant Stone from G.I. Joe. And he's not, there we go. And then again, a female figure. And it looks like Helix is just a little bit shorter. I tend to think that they made the G.I. Joe females a little bit shorter than the males, because Sergeant Stone seems like he stacks up pretty good, and Helix is just a tad shorter. And then the final one is just for fun, because there is no real good reason. Well, actually, maybe this is a new mutant. This is the Altered Mutant, I'll say. Come on, stand back up there. We have Altered Beast. And on a side note, if anyone has seen the dragon out there from Altered Beast, please let me know. I have been looking for the dragon, and it's never shown up at any of my stores. I've never seen it for sale online. Just throwing that out there. But Altered Beast could be a new kind of a mutant in your JoyToy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe. I would say, though, between these two figures, April is absolutely 100% the clear winner, the better figure. And, I'm actually, dare I say it, I think April just might be the absolute best Ninja Turtle JoyToy figure to date. I'm sorry, that I think she's better than the actual Turtles, Shredder, Bebop, Rocksteady, the Foot Soldiers. We'll have to see what the future holds, but right now, she's just absolutely amazing. Splinter is really good. All these figures, let's just say most of these figures are between 8 and 10, with most of them being like 9.5 to 10. She's just like an 11. She's just like, she broke that scale. And so, yeah, I highly recommend, if you don't get any other figures, get this figure, because you could probably do some form of customizing. I'm kind of looking at this head here. You could probably do some form of customizing with her. We don't get a lot of female figures, it seems like. And this one's just absolutely amazing, that you could repaint the figure, you could swap heads out, you could do so much with this figure that, yeah, it's there. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.